welcome to my studio. I have an Etsy restock share with you. Here I have a basket full of stories and that can be turned into journals. So I wanted to share some of these projects and a few of these stories. All of these are listed in my shop. I will leave a link below for that, and I thought I would just share some of my favorites with you. You can go, and the stories are all in the item details. If you go to the Etsy shop and you want to read one of the stories, see some of the packs better, and look at these journal kits. So I wanted to start with this little one here. So I'm just going to put this basket over here to the side and draw a few of these out to show you. While I'm opening this, I'm going to tell you his story. This little guy here is Sturbert Patrick Smirky, if I'm pronouncing that right. And here is a little hand-tinted photo, and this is a real photo that's been hand-tinted. I'm not going to take it off, but you can see his name is written, I don't know if I can bend it a little bit, written in pencil on the back. And I wanted to tell you a little bit of, oops, I've got the, oh man, start saying, what did I do with his story? Okay, there it is. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm reading his story off my actual listing page. So, this is Sturbert Patrick Smirky, I think is how you pronounce it, age 22 months. It is scrawled in pencil on the back of the hand-tinted photo that I held in my hand. I wondered who Patrick was and how he came to be in a second-hand shop with a bowl of other strangers' photos. I imagined him delighting in the spring weather, possibly visiting his grandmother, who topped his fair head with a straw hat to keep the warm sun from burning his pale, delicate skin. I see him grinning at his grandmother, dressed in her pink gingham Sunday best dressed, with a touch of lace at the cuffs. Grandfather thinks he's so adorable that he calls Uncle Tom to come and use that newfangled picture-taking machine to get a picture of the boy. He squints and grins, his image captured, long treasured, and sadly discarded in a second-hand shop. So I adopted him. So some of the description in here about Patrick are things that are included in the kit. Maybe this was a piece of grandmother's Sunday best dress, and this was some of the lace that was lining grandmother's dress. Of course, you get the vintage picture of Patrick himself. Inside, there are some little goodies that go along with the journal. This is a string-bound journal, one signature journal. It is made out of wallpaper. It has it's a soft cover journal made from wallpaper. It's 5.5 by 6. One signature of paper. It is stitched around. Now this could be bound in any other way you wanted it to, and it is filled with paper. Oh, and strings, evidently. Those were not supposed to be on there. Let me look at my description. I can tell you more about this. This has 10 pages in the signature, which gives you 40 front and back pages. Okay. You get 8 assorted coordinating 6x6 scrapbook papers. There are 5 assorted vintage papers. There's a glassine bag that includes ephemera pieces, fabric scraps, vintage lace, you know, that kind of thing. There is a tea bag included that has small scraps and ephemera. You get, like I said, the vintage photo and about a yard of the sari silk. So this is the little journal. This one's a pale green, kind of almost a mint and pink tones for this kit. Here is the papers that are included. Oh, what a mess. That sari silk is just coming off everywhere. Here are some printed papers. I am tied up in this silk. Some pink papers, some brown stock, and some printed cardstock. So those are all things that coordinate with this kit. You have some things, since this photo in my imagination was taken in spring. Here is a song sheet entitled Spring. Here are some beautiful pale pink roses from a garden book. This is a piece of vintage wallpaper. We have a dictionary page with the word spring on it. And we also have a page from a vintage rose gardening book. So those are some pages and papers in the journal itself. We have looked at grandmother's dress. We have looked at the little photo. So let's see what else we have here. Now these are ready to decorate pieces. These are not decorated pieces. This is for you to put your own stamp and touch on. So here you've got a little ephemera piece. You've got this little envelope that flips up and out like that you can hold things in. Here is a little fold out with pockets. A big pocket with some tags that are ready to decorate. And a little notebook that is ready to bind however you want to. It's got pink and hand-dyed, coffee-dyed paper in it. You've got a little tea bag. This is an unused, a brand new tea bag. And there are just little snippets of paper. There's some little ephemeras, little images, little, just all kinds of little things that could make tabs or little things in your journal. So this is the journal for little Patrick. I'm gonna pick another one. Let's see what we've got in another one. Let me see. I'm trying to think of who had some of the most interesting stories. I want to do this one about these little girls because I really love their, I don't know why, but this reminds me of a picture of my grandmother and her two friends when she was young. There's not a lot of pictures from that era in my family. And this one, I don't know why, but I was just really drawn to this one. And this kit is called Catching Butterflies. And I'll tell you their story. These are about these two twins and this little girl here. Meet three friends, Tessa and the twins, as they are often referred as. They met in a meadow near the twins' home as Tessa's strict mother did not approve of the friendship of her daughter with those wild girls who wear loud prints and garish striped socks, to quote her mother. Those were the exciting things she loved the most about the twins. They never had to be prim and proper. Their hair could get mussed and their clothing soiled without getting scolded. They had ever so much fun on their meadow and woodland adventures. One day, the twins' uncle came to town and took their picture with his camera. Before he traveled home again, he gave Tessa a copy that she secreted away and cherished all of her days. And so these are Tessa and the twins. Their journal, is made out of, once again, wallpaper. It's all the same things, all the same dimensions, same, well, I guess I have it upside down since I'm looking at the paper on the inside. And there is the little journal ready to decorate. There are papers in here that are coordinating papers that have butterflies on them. There's some handmade paper, some parchment, scrapbook paper, cardstock. There's a vintage butterfly. It's a vintage inspired. This isn't vintage. This is actually, I think, yes, this is an Edith Holden postcard. Then the sheet music for this one does say butterflies on it. Then we have a butterfly from a storybook, a page. We've got some pretty ledger paper, and does this one say butterfly on it? I'm trying to see why I picked this one. Yes, it says butterfly on it. I thought I picked the dictionary page to match everything. But these are the girls, and here is some of the wild fabric that these girls wore. This is actually a scrap of fabric from the 1920s. And so I thought it kind of matched the pattern in these crazy striped socks. And then this little girl in her little dress is so much more prim, and her hair is so curled, and, you know, that kind of thing. And here's some lace that might have been on Tessa's dress. Here's a little flip piece. Oops. We'll flip it. A tag. These are all ready for your touch. Another flip. And then this is a flip out with some tags that have chalk paint on them. So they're like little chalkboard tags. And in here we've got the tea bag with a butterfly and some various stamps, some various little papers and things like that. So that is Tessa and the twins story, the butterfly catchers that love to play in the meadow together. I want to pick out a couple more to share, and then I'll leave the rest of the stories for you. I think I've shared Aunt Mert on my Facebook. And this actually says on here Aunt Mert, and these are real vintage photos. They are some of my instant ancestors that I adopted, and this is about Aunt Mert. Aunt Mert is a school teacher by day and a wannabe flapper by night from the 1920s. This one, I don't remember her story. Let me look really quick and I'll tell you what her story is. I'll at least tell you their story if I'm not sharing it. I can tell you a little bit about it. Sorry, I'm having to look at these, but once you make this stuff and you put it aside, and it's like it, well, maybe not for you, but for me, it just runs out of my memory. Okay, this one is about a young girl playing dress up in her mother's closet. You can see here she looks a little fancied up, you know, for a young girl, but this one's about playing dress up in her mother's closet. And this one is a gardening themed one, and I'm pretty sure, yes, let me show you the photo on that. This is a story about these three are judges in a rose garden contest, and this is called the Red Rose. This particular one, what have I done here? I'm having technical difficulties off the camera here. This one is about a judging contest about a rose garden. These are people standing in front of some rose bushes. So that's what that kit is about. And I tried to match everything in the kits. Like this has music that's, what was it called? Something about a rose, and then it's got rose gardening pages and images and things like that. So I tried to, you know, kind of incorporate it. This one, this little girl here, she is, I have her situated in the 1950s. Can you tell I love history and making stuff up? She is from the 1950s, and her themed kit is about the movies. This is called Movie Romance, and it's about being a young girl and going to the movies. And so that is going to be her theme. Then we've got this one. I'm not sure if she is the Chateau Lady. Let's see. I'm just having to look in my own Etsy shop, which is a little crazy. I'm sorry for this, but it's the only way I'm going to remember unless I've written it down. No, this kit is called Shoe and Slipper. She is out shopping for shoes. And so this is a kit that has a lot of things about vintage shoes from like the 1800s. So that is her, even though she's more 1920s, if you kind of look to me with the marceled hair and stuff, she's probably more 1920s. But the shoes and the imagery I used in this one were more 1800 shoes. So that's that one. This lady, Do I see her real quickly? Yes, this lady she loves to garden. This is a lady that, and her picture looks like she's standing in a garden. You can see the baluster, and it's just a backdrop, but it looks like she's in a garden. And so this one is about a gardener that she likes to garden. This one is about this is also a garden themed one. This one is about, I don't remember their story. Let me look at their story real quick and I can tell you what it is. Yeah, these were the best friends that come back to their neighborhood and share memories. There's a little tire swing in the background. It's really hard to see, but share their memories of coming back to their neighborhood. And this is a garden themed one. There's the wallpaper. So this one is tones of the greens and the peachy pinks. And that's a garden one. This one is about, this one's in purples and lavenders. And she is a shopkeeper, and so this one is called Keeping Store, and it's about her shop, and you can see that there's, you know, some fashion involved. She loves fashion. I mean, look at this hat and dress, how she's decked out, you know. And so this one's in lavenders and purples. I guess I could turn it the right way. Greens, lavenders and purples and greens. So, and her song was called Keeping Store, so that was kind of fun. And her specialty was hats. She loves making hats and millinery, you know what I'm trying to say. Whatever that was. I'm getting down to a couple of the ones I really wanted to share a full story on. This one was, I think she's a fashion girl. Let's see. She was something about a seamstress. I think I remember her. Where is she? But I can't find her. Yes, she's a seamstress. And so her packet is all on sewing, and it is a neutral theme kit with just creams and black accents. It is a very neutral theme kit. So that's the seamstress. This lady here, she's the Chateau Lady. Let's see, what's her kit called? I apologize, this is taking so long. I should have written the names down and it would have jogged my memory. Yes, this is called the Au Chateau. And her story is about growing up in an old chateau, and her father always insisted that she be dressed in pink. And everything was pink. But when she grew up, she just wanted to wear black all the time. But in honor of her passed away father, she decorated the entire chateau in tones of pink. But this is more of a dusky color tone. You can see from some of the papers and things. It's more of a rosy and burgundy tones in this book. But her sheet music is actually called the Au Chateau. Okay. Oh, here's the one I wanted to share. I like this story. I like this kit. Well, I like them all, but some of them just amuse me more than others. This is called the French Dancing Song, and I want to share the kit with you and tell you the story about this little dog. Monsieur Claude did indeed live up to his name's meaning, one who limps, as he sustained an injury in the war that left him in need of using a crutch. Now that the war was over, he only wanted to pursue a small, peaceful profession that would make people happy and smile and hopefully dim the reminders of war. One day on his daily walk to strengthen his injured leg, he met a little black and white spotted dog who decided to adopt him. Monsieur Claude discovered that the little dog was very smart and knew lots of tricks, as well as to do a twirling dance when he sang the French dancing song. He had an idea to entertain children in the park with his little friend, whom he named Jacques. Dressed in a little hat and kerchief, doing fancy tricks and dancing. Perhaps the parents would contribute a coin or two to help feed them. They were so popular that it was wearing poor Jacques out, as the children clapped for more. So Monsieur Claude adopted 2 more dogs, whom he named Jean and Julien, and taught them tricks so they could take turns with Jacques. They spent many happy days in the park, much to the delight and laughter of the children, while memories of the war faded into the background. So this is Jacques, and here are his friends. Here is Monsieur Claude, and here they are all in their little costumes, sitting up in the park, and here's some of the children watching them be entertained. And this kit is about dogs, of course. The French dancing song is where part of my title came from. There are some French papers in here. And why did I put this page in here? Why did I put this page in here? I would have to look at the words to figure out what was my what was my muse on this? Oh my goodness. I don't know. But anyway, there's a page in there. And here's his little book. It's kind of got the burgundies and gray and blacks, kind of a more neutral tone. He's got some vintage velvet ribbon, black ribbon, some shirting that I imagine, or maybe this is from one of those, I don't know how to say it, is it a cravat? You know, one of those things they tie around their necks. All kinds of little things in here, but that is his story. And maybe we'll share one more story and then we'll call it a day, because this is a long video. There's a lot of these kits. This one is about a concert. You can see in this vintage photo the people are standing up on looks like a truck bed, an old truck bed, and there's people out here watching them sing. And so this one is about music, and it's about a concert. I know it's about a concert. Where is the... Yes, it's called The Concert. And so this one is more in the pale greens, the pinks and tans. It's got a little bit of burgundy in it. Then there are 2 more. This one is about traveling. And this is a vintage postcard. And there's a story about these 4 friends that dream of traveling together. And it's a more neutral themed kit. And I think I'll stop with, I'll do one more story. And I'll do the Corset Maker. This is the Corset Maker. And I'll give you one more story, and then we'll close this down. This is Miss Anna Petrini. She's a well-known corset maker. She apprenticed under a French seamstress who fashioned fine undergarments for women. Miss Anna herself never did abide by tying oneself up with yards of ribbon and whalebone stays, squeezing the life out of every breath, just to cinch a waist so small a child's hands could span it. She felt no need to fall victim to silly fashion, but she knew plenty of ladies who did just that, and there was lucrative money to be made catering to such women. Miss Anna did the finest of detailed hand stitching in elaborate designs with the finest of silk threads on her garments, and she was in high demand. With the sigh, she would whip out her tape measure, hoping more sensible undergarments would come into fashion in the future. And I don't remember if her name was on the back of here or not, or if I just made that up. Here's her book, It's also in the, it's kind of neutrally, but it's got a little bit of pinks and burgundies and different tones. There's a lot of things that have to do with corsets. I didn't have a specific sheet music, so she just got some plain sheet music, some sheet pattern paper, some collage paper that has, you know, women's fashion, some more pattern pieces, and then an actual catalog page with vintage corsets on it. And in her kit, she has an actual, I was stitching this for a project and didn't finish it, but an actual little hand-stitched corset ready to be decorated, some lace, a little flip out, a flip up, this is one of those little accordion out, oops, I don't know if I can get it, journaling pieces. And all these have corsets or women's fashion. Little tag in there. Another fold out. And another flip up. This is, oh, I know how I got her name now that I see this. This is a vintage Victorian calling card. And that was how I got Miss Anna's name. And then there's some buttons and little snippets and things in here, and that's Miss Anna's story. So anyway, these journal kits are listed in my Etsy shop. I will leave a link below. Thank you for indulging my imagination and for joining me for story time, and I will see you around the studio.